Welcome to Unmuzzled Chat. So we're out in the sticks. I'm going to leave this here door open so my dogs could run out in the wilderness. They're freaking loving it. It's been raining like crazy up here. Kind of close to Sunrise Ski Resort. However, we're on the National Forest side. Don't typically end up on tribal lands when I'm out here camping. They don't like dirt bikes and a lot of things. And if I'm out there shooting my bow, they might think I'm hunting. Anyway, it's just better to play it safe than sorry. Keep it to our land. Well, this is a trial run, so bear with me. We're having power issues. We're having technical issues. Our recorder's on the fritz. There's just continually hurdles being thrown at us. Doesn't that tell you we're on to something? Doesn't that tell you we're about to have good breakthrough? Evil is freaking trying so hard, but let's not let it deter us. And let's continue to expose on this very episode more of evil's infrastructure. Let's continue to wake people up and get to know ourselves so we can effectively protect ourselves, our loved ones, our families. It's crucial. And give us the proper calls to action with unifying and shifting this tide once and for all. Let's all seize this moment in time. What a gift. What a blessing. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support and continually showing up here and sharing our content. Thank you. If I was there right now, I'd give you a big hug. I appreciate you. So I think the limiting factor we're going to have issues with today is Starlink. We've ran some diagnostics with them, and apparently modem is defective, so they're going to be sending out a new one, and I hope that fixes the issue. So if there's any lag, I just hope this is worthwhile of even posting, but here we go. Let's give it a shot. Let's do a screen share. First screen share right here on Unmuzzled Chat. And let's play. This gentleman here, Australian Senator Malcolm Roberts, exposes the World Economic Forum. Right here. The WEF has now turned their evil agenda to the food. The campaign against family is really a campaign against one of the necessities of life, food. Let's go ahead and play this.
When the World Economic Forum launched their social media campaign in 2018 carrying the slogan, "You'll own nothing and be happy," I thought, finally, the predatory billionaires who try to run the world had shown their hand. The public can finally see their fate if the World Economic Forum are allowed to succeed. That didn't happen. The media, who have the same owners as the World Economic Forum, persisted with calling the World Economic Forum's evil agenda a conspiracy theory.
Wow.
Even in this case, there are only a handful of senators with the courage.
Can you see? The true conspiracy theorists are the puppets, are the owned, are the talking heads, are the platforms that are projecting conspiracy theorists. They themselves are fulfilling that very CIA created narrative. It's been very effective. A lot of people have fulfilled the very worst type of censorship, which we are fighting so hard against here on Unmuzzled Chat, is self-censorship. Folks are muzzling themselves, fearful of standing out in a bad way or being called a name, conspiracy theorist, versus speaking out on the facts or the logic or the information or the truth that they have come across. We must never self-censor. That is horrific.
To call out the agenda for what it is: economic exploitation and social control. Over the break, the World Economic Forum revealed another aspect of their plan when they launched a campaign against laundry. Yes, really, laundry. Jeans should not be washed more than once a month. Most other clothes once a week. You will wear dirty clothes and be smelly, apparently, and happy. The temptation is to laugh at their desire to control even mundane aspects of our lives, yet the truth is much more frightening than that. The World Economic Forum have now turned their evil agenda to food. The campaign against farming is really a campaign against one of the necessities of life, food. Predatory billionaires, parasitic billionaires, owning near-urban intensive production facilities, producing food-like substances for the masses, forcing the public into acceptance to the World Economic Forum's fake global warming scam.
Fake.
These are their own stated motives.
We'll be adding more facts, backing that up. It is a hoax. Total scam.
Control food, control people. Who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control whole continents. Who controls money can control the world. The World Economic Forum and the predatory billionaires they represent are currently trying to do all three.
Very well said. We can't allow that type of control. We can't sit back and allow this to continue. Let's shut it down. We are the people. I know it's hard to get organized. I know. Easier said than done. But I know it. We could help create that momentum. I just know it. We, in fact, already are. 100%. We've woken some people up here. We've brought some people closer to Jesus. We've given people more solutions with their health. These are all personal accounts that I've heard of. And it would be nice to see this more mass scaled. All right, we got another video here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this one popped up. This gentleman does great. We are in the middle of the biggest crime in history. It's so true. You have to be brave now. I stated in this post, being brave is important. Fearless is better. We must unite and seek extreme accountability, and the time is now. Let's hear what he has to say.
I think we're in the middle of an ongoing crime. I've no idea how long it's going to last. I'm convinced that it will be the biggest crime in history. It's global. It has the intent of control, removing everybody's freedom, and I personally think will involve killing further millions, if not billions of people. That makes it a pretty big competitor for the title worst crime in history. It is long planned. I won't bore you with the details, but I've definitely come across information that shows that the components of the deceit that they've used, PCR, exaggerated PCR testing, the use of fear-based messaging through the media, this stuff's been rehearsed by militaries and the people we might think of as the spooks for at least 25 years and possibly longer. So it's long planned, very serious. Yes. Here's the thing, why I'm calling you to arms. It's not going to return to the old normal. One, that's never their intention. So it's not going to happen passively because there isn't an actual...
Passively. Keyword. It's our choice to get engaged. It's our choice for this not to be the outcome. What do you choose?
Phenomenon that's going to wear off. They're not going to allow it to return to normal. So if you comply with this tyranny, it will end with the loss of your liberty and probably your life. The supply chains that move materials, raw materials and finished goods around the world are being sawn through on a global scale. You've only got to look at where the shipping is, where it should be and where it actually is. And terrifyingly, the same is happening to food production worldwide. Food and fertilizer production. It's in the wrong place. It's deliberate. They're smashing the means of manufacturing enough calories to keep 7.8 billion people. Where do you think that's going to end? Migration.
Also mass poisoning. Because they get rid of the healthy, what does that leave us? The stuff they're trying to produce. There's a reason why Bill Gates singularly is the largest farm owner in the United States of America. That evil character. China has bought up a lot of farmland here in America. Who's allowed this?
That's what's going to happen if you and everybody else choose to do nothing at all. Also, economic destruction we can see happening around us. Interest rates will rise. on the back of huge debts, that will just cause mass bankruptcies, rolling recessions, depressions, things like that. And I would also imagine loss of confidence in the very thing called money. So any savings you've got, I think they'll just vanish. Literally, people will just say, I no longer trust sterling. I don't want to accept it. And so all your savings are now worth nothing. So if you wait, I believe too late, I think you already know that I'm broadly telling you something that's closer to the reality than what government's telling me. But I believe that we can head off the worst crimes in history by actively withdrawing our consent and definitely not accepting these digital ID for any reason. Any reason. If you accept it, they will sweep over us. And so, just in the last few words, I implore you to get involved, to use some of what I and others are saying to you. Be brave, actually. You have to be brave now and risk embarrassment and recruit other people to this cause, and we can roll them over.
I was confused there in the end as to that music. I thought it was coming from somewhere else. Oh my gosh. Yes. Preparation's key, folks. I want us all to do well amongst these challenges. We live in a blessed time, but it's a challenging time. The more we could support one another, get on board with this proper momentum and ruling out evil, but also being prepared, the better off we're going to be. So right there, it's important to diversify your wealth. If you just got a bunch of money sitting in a bank account, I'm no financial advisor, but I'd invest more in silver and gold and ammunition, even firearms, food, storage, water filtration systems, power systems, generators, solar systems, but things like that also need protection. And let's go ahead and plug EMP Shield. I'm so grateful for that affiliation. I truly am. With this affiliation, we've saved listeners thousands of dollars now. Thousands of dollars with EMP Shield. And you still can get $50 off every single product you purchase through them just clicking the link below. If you don't believe it's going to protect your vehicle or your home or your solar system, look at the Keystone Compliance, very thorough testing that's available right there on EMP Shield's webpage. Okay, let's jump into the next video here. It's so sad what is taking place. What are we going to do about it? We can't change. We can't go back in time. So it's all about the moment. Tomorrow isn't here yet. Yesterday's past. We must learn from everything that's taken place and take the proper actions right here, right now.
Just a quick question, and I think this is sort of going forward. Some people may be aware we're doing a class action lawsuit on behalf of people who have been injured by these shots. I literally just came from a meeting with a mother whose 18-year-old son has just been diagnosed with pericarditis and myocarditis, and his cardiologist has told him he now has the heart of a 60-year-old. And of course, he had to get the shots to go to university and participate in his sport. Just last week, I was at my local golf club and I was chatting with one of the staff that worked there. She was telling me that she routinely now has to go for cardiac exams because no fewer than 4 girls that she knows that she plays hockey with at the university level have all been diagnosed with myocarditis following the shots, and they can no longer play collegiate level sports, right? All of them were forced to take these shots to go to school. So what I'm wondering is, are we sitting on top of a bubble of potential future deaths from all of these young people who are now being diagnosed with myocarditis and pericarditis and vasculitis as a result of these shots?
It's so sad. Yeah, are we sitting on a bubble? The stats that have already come out are horrific. All the tyranny, everything that's happened. There is a silver lining to it all. Evil really has overextended its hand, and it has never been clearer than it is right here in this moment in time. Let's seize it together. I know we can. Let's continue. By the way, I apologize on rubbing my nose and clearing my nose. I've been put on a new protocol, or things have been added to my protocol for Lyme disease, and for mold. And I guess that's your whole nasal. So you could take antifungals, you could do things. I guess it doesn't really impact your nasal cavities and such. So I've been put on some special type of nose spray, and it's messing with my nose, man. And it's even getting dry and itchy. So I apologize. Just wanted to make that known because I just started doing it. Is really impacting me. Anyways, let's continue. Right here, award-winning journalist Alex Newman provides a perfect summary of the climate scam. Yes, climate hoax, CO2 hoax. The proof is out there, folks. You only need to do real research. And this gentleman did hit the nail on the head. It's all 100% about control. 100%. He speaks so clearly. Let's hear him out.
A lot of this environmental question depends on, I think, a very flawed fundamental presupposition. It depends on the idea that carbon dioxide is pollution. And I would argue, after interviewing hundreds of scientists, including many who've worked
Hundreds of scientists
for the UN IPCC, many of the leading scientists in the world, that the notion that CO2 is pollution is absolutely preposterous. We exhale about 2 pounds of it every single day. The proportion of greenhouse gases made up of human CO2 is a fraction of 1%. The idea that that is going to destroy the planet or change the temperature of the earth is, frankly, in my opinion, totally ludicrous.
Ludicrous, laughable, insane, truly insane. I get evil. Can't we see how evil preys on our heartstrings? Choose the narrative. It's been very effective. Propaganda, they're right. Propaganda, misinformation is truly dangerous. But they are the ones trying to control our speech. So their propaganda, lies, and gaslighting works. And it has worked. So many people have ranked this hoax up, the pandemic hoax up, the political side, just shenanigans. They're all war tactics being used by the deep state, the globalists, to not only divide and conquer, but to also poison and sicken, put us in a place we pose no threat. They want full, complete, utter control of our lives.
But from a totalitarian perspective, if you can convince people that CO2 is pollution, there's no human activity that doesn't result in CO2 emissions, including living, including dying, turning on a light switch. Every single aspect of your life, then, if we submit to the idea that CO2 is pollution, then comes under the regulatory control of the people who claim to be saving us from pollution. So when they do these environmental studies and they say, well, your CO2 footprint will be smaller if you eat bugs or you do this, that, or the other, you drive an electric car, that doesn't show anything about whether that's going to benefit the environment or not. In fact, CO2 has actually been very beneficial for the environment.
Yes.
In interviewing Trump's climate advisor, Dr. William Happer, a physics professor at Princeton University, he said the Earth is starving for more CO2. And since we've had a little bit of an increase in atmospheric CO2 over the last 100 years or so, plants have gotten much greener, agricultural yields have improved. So I think we need to also talk about the fundamental presupposition here. Is CO2 really pollution? If it's not, then all these alleged environmental benefits are completely fictional.
Very well said. Alex, nice work. I wish I could speak that clearly. Use words so profoundly. I got so much work to do. Cut me some slack. Lyme disease is really dumb me in a huge way. All glory to God. I'll keep this short because I don't want to bore you with it. And I've said it before, but I literally was knocking on death's door not too long ago, and it was all I could do to articulate my thoughts. This right here, even. Yeah, okay. Don't do comparisons or beat myself up. No, I'm striving to do better and serve you better, which is a healthy place I feel to be. I'm not beating myself up entirely about it, but yeah, I just can't wait to get there. But Lyme clearly passes a blood-brain barrier, and it causes all sorts of neurological defects. But the progress has been nothing shy than a miracle. So anyone that's out there struggling with Lyme, happens to even come across this episode or just struggling in general, just know Western medicine, more than likely, is not a solution for you at all. There may be some involved in that have continually practiced medicine that might give some good solutions, but I venture to say it's the other medical options out there that are more so going to provide actual solutions for you. And I bring that up because I truly know that if we can really focus on our health and up our resilience, we naturally are going to become the solutions, even on a bigger stage. Yet our personal lives will benefit gravely. Let's continue. Right here, this gentleman, mind control, apparently with our electronics. Now it's important to keep an open mind and really do the research. I don't believe it's this specific thing he's talking about here that is having this grave impact, but that coupled with the food and the inoculations and the manipulation of information, it becomes very powerful as a collective.
The reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about, and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy theory. So at Tulane Neurology and Tulane Neurosurgery in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, the CIA started a program there where they would do all these crazy things to monkeys. The CIA wanted to see how they could control things utilizing different things like drugs and things like that. Where the neurosurgeons got involved, which is my clade, we would drill tops of the heads off, put wires into the thalamus, put electricity in there, and kind of see what kind of behavioral changes we could have. One of the guys that was in that program was a guy named Professor Delgado. When he saw that we could control the behavior with the wired device, he said, what if we do it wirelessly? So he checked it in monkeys and checked it in bulls, and it turned out you can do it wirelessly with RFID chips and semiconductors.
He's not just making this stuff up. You can research it.
Then the CIA took it to the next level. They said, well, since this is electromagnetic radiation, what if we did it through light through screens? And it turns out you can. And that's the reason why all your computer screens have the frequencies they have. So why is this all important? Well, the person that set this meeting up between me and Bobby is the patent attorney that made sure that Google and Meta have those things so they can control the things that we all do. Where did the original idea come from that started off in MKUltra with the CIA? You're going to be surprised when you hear this. It came from the mafia in Las Vegas. They wanted to build a new city in a desert. They enclosed it all, blacked out the windows, invented slot machines that were blue lit. And they found out that they didn't have to take a gun, stick it in your face to steal your money. Then they even got smarter. They said, let's give people free alcohol while they're doing that.
Wow.
And they found out they got the money quicker. And that's when the CIA got the idea to start this program. That's really how it started.
It's a lot there, isn't there? There's nothing to be overwhelmed, folks. Nothing. And I'm telling you, from my personal experience, there's nothing that God himself cannot protect you from in this existence if it's his will. So why roll the dice on the best protection you could gain in this existence? Bible goes with me everywhere, folks. It's such a gift. And I'm starting to do better, diving into it more, and there's always room for improvement. All right, let's dive into this next clip here. It's kind of annoying. So I'm using StreamYard. I'm testing it out. I do not have an indicator. Oh, I do have an indicator. I apologize. Right there in the corner, 30 minutes in. It's important. I got to have a bead on where we're at with the content we're sharing. Anyway, I digress. Let's continue. Holy smokes, this is wild. Yeah, I complimented. I said, well done, bravo. Could not have said it better myself, because I typically fail in these type of interactions, me personally. And by the way, if you haven't followed us on X, we post a lot of content on X that ends up even in the episodes here. Follow us on X. Follow us on Facebook. In fact, it's just James Geddes on Facebook, but the link is in the comment section. Also, as always, we'll include all these clips as well. But the more momentum we gain on all these platforms will just be very beneficial. But I believe this to be a very powerful clip, that this lady here is truly leading by example. And I believe we should boycott any hotel that wouldn't service America's public and took money, dirty money from our government and put up invaders, criminals that crossed over into this country illegally. Unbelievable. Let's play this clip. She does great.
As your illegal immigrants left now?
Long ago, yes.
How long?
Quite a few months ago.
Yeah, well, the public are not happy, and the public are not happy that the taxpayer now will be refurbishing this hotel and opening it back to the public and expecting the public to pay. Well, it's a disgrace. We were not allowed in this hotel. You closed it to the public to have illegal immigrants in here. So now the public round here are going to boycott your hotel. Okay? It's the first time I've been able to get into this hotel since the illegal immigrants were here. I used to come for lunch, I used to come for dinner here, but you turned us all away.
Wow.
And you took government money.
You can do what you like outside, my darling, but if you
don't touch me. If you touch me, it's assault.
just leave through.
Just don't. Yeah, but please do not touch me.
I will not touch you.
Yeah, well, you have just touched me.
All right, Karen.
It's because I'm a kind caring person.
Listen, I report on illegal immigration, and you guys here have had this place closed.
Did she say it's because she's a caring person she put her hand on her back? If she's a caring person, why did she stop serving her long-term members and only cater to illegals? You're a greedy Karen. You just took the free money from your government, and now you're finding yourself, we could put them out of business. Why not? One door closes, another opportunity, another door opens, and we could have them privately owned instead of BlackRock owned. That'd be awesome.
And you've not let the public in. Public, my family that have been used to come here for meals. Well, you know what? The public are going to boycott you now because you're traitors. You're traitors to the public.
Yes, you are.
Best Western Hotel, one of the worst chains for illegal immigrants in the country. I believe that they're opening again on Friday, and they want your public. They want your money. The public, the paying public. So I say that we boycott Best Western Hotel and we don't come to the Watermill restaurant. Because for now we think that it's okay to open back to the public. Touching me by my back and pushing me out of the hotel. What an absolute disgrace. These are traitors and these want your money back, guys.
100%. It is a great call to action, and let's just do our part. We need to be educated on which ones, in fact, did put up illegals. There's always somewhere else. All right, let's jump on to the next one, shall we? I'm not that fast. Trying to figure this out. Bear with me. This gal, I'm impressed. Nice to see strong women wake up to what is really going on. More proof we have not been free in our own minds and must break free.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs. This could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't?
Great question.
Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. Toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
Ooh, I kind of whistled there. Very well said. I applaud you. Another one that makes me want to work on my speech more. But I'm grateful for you to take the time, connect those dots, and speak out on those truths. We must be able to acknowledge the intention and who's behind these movements. It truly, the root of it is evil. It is spiritual warfare. Of course they want to demonize men, even women, break up the family unit, so we're not fulfilling God's purpose for us being here. All right, let's continue. Well, I'm sure definitely testing it versus trying this with only a few clips. I'm getting quite invested now. Right here, I freaking love this man. I stated it. Very well said. Let the truth be heard. Golly, he does great.
Your pandemic didn't work. Your impeachments didn't work.
Nope.
Your January 6th didn't work.
Nope.
Your social media censorship, your bullshit indictments, your unconstitutional attempts to remove him from the ballot. Nope, didn't work. Your baseless lawsuits, your 34 counts, comparing him to Hitler. Your attempts to bankrupt him did not work. Your attempts to remove his Secret Service detail. Your Project 2025 and your Epstein files, no funciono. And your bullets didn't work. June 15th, 2015, Donald Trump came at escalator, and Democrats and Rhino Republicans haven't been the same. It has been a barrage of unrelenting smear campaigns from his political enemies on all sides of the spectrum. What we witnessed yesterday is the culmination of 9 years of media manipulation and dirty politics. When you plant the seeds inside the minds of weak-minded people by telling them that a former president is the second coming of Hitler, that he is a full-scale threat to our democracy, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And you literally have influencers and celebrities alike advocating for his assassination. I am not surprised by the radical increase of the possibility of violence in America. Right. Some of you almost got what you wanted yesterday, but you can't stop the will of God. So now that you've exhausted all of your options, just take this pending L with the utmost style and grace. Trump 2024 now more than ever, and it ain't even close.
Very well said. Golly, what a stud. Let's track him down and get him on the podcast, shall we? That would be great. Help us. We could do that together, you know? And whoever tracks him down and gets him on, why don't you join us in the conversation? That would just be freaking awesome. Let's do it. Okay, there's only a few clips left. Let's go ahead and get through them. Hillary's so evil. Now I wonder, because it seems like my volume controls for whatever reason in this screen sharing is limited. And I know this clip is a bit on the quiet side. But let's go ahead and play this because she says it herself. Not just admitting that U.S. rigs elections, but she's calling for it. It's unbelievable. I have to crank things up.
I think we should have pushed for an election in the Palestinian territories. I think that was a big mistake. And if we were going to push for an election, then we should have made sure that we did something to determine who was going to win.
Then we should have done something to ensure that their people were going to win. Yeah. Yep. That pretty much sums up that fraud, that evil individual. It's how are we sitting back and allowing unacceptable outcome after unacceptable outcome, egregious unacceptable outcome over, and it's just continuing. It becomes a question, where does the problem really lie? Because it's biblical, it's true, and this is spiritual warfare. The problem, I believe, lies within us, we the people. Now, I know we've fallen prey and victim to war tactics, but once again, has it ever been clearer? There has been a mass awakening. Is enough of us going to show up and do what's necessary? Guess we'll see with time. So Stu Peters here, right here. I'm going all the way. Only the bravest and realest will appear in this film. And for me, on this post, it was just, we must not be scared to do deep dives and ask questions, period. And there are a lot of red flags here. Let's give this a listen.
We have a big problem. And this is going to continue ongoing. This is an outrage to America. You talked about law.
Disgusting.
This is a travesty to law. There is no law because the information and money are completely controlled by a small group of people. And if you say their name, you're called an anti-Semite.
Called an anti-Semite.
Spit on, man.
I just don't understand how you have a country where your politicians have more allegiance to a foreign nation than they do their own. I honestly think that we have.
That is a very good question. It's a very good question. We shouldn't be scared to ask that and research that.
Literal treason going on right now where Israel's interests are being put before America's interests.
Is America a sovereign nation, or are we being controlled by Israel?
People are always talking about they are out of control, they are killing us. We have to identify who the real enemy is.
The satanic Jews, they control everything and mostly everybody.
What difference does it make if it's a baby or if it's an adult? It's the same thing.
There's one little nation state of Israel that everybody's afraid to talk about. It'll get you nuked off the internet. It'll scare advertisers away from doing business with you if you talk about Zionist infiltration.
Are you a Zionist?
Yes.
You have to get rid of AIPAC. You have to get rid of, the Israeli control over our country. I mean, there's just because they clearly don't give a shit about it.
Wow.
Are you part of the Jewish conspiracy? What exactly is the...
Maybe. I'm Jewish.
Very interesting, right? Well, let's transition into the last clip here, and it's actually a little bit of a speech from Netanyahu himself. What is going on with the global Microsoft cyber outage? Quote, Microsoft is Israel almost as much as it is America. Quote, the Jerusalem Post. Netanyahu himself, quote, with the click of a button, you can bring nations to their knees very rapidly if you so desire. It's pretty scary stuff.
Because the intersection of big data, connectivity, and artificial intelligence, and what it does in robotics and genetics and all the other fields, Uli, that you mentioned, everything, that is changing our world in rapid succession. And the future belongs to those who can seize this change. We are positioned right at the cusp of this change, right at the center of this change. We can take it, and we are. It's changing.
They are.
It's giving us powers and prowess that we never had before. And cyber is a real domain of power.
I don't like it.
It's a new kind of warfare, very different from what we've seen before. I'm talking about the capacity, and it's not imaginary, it's not futuristic, and it's not exaggerated. With the click of a button, you can bring down nations to their knees very rapidly if you so
desire.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Can't make this stuff up, folks. And nothing conspiratorial about it. You could hear it from the people themselves. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to really see people's handiwork, the head of the snake, the whole infrastructure, everything that threatens our lives right now, futuristically. What more can I say? Help us here on Unmuzzled Chat effectively articulate it. That is what this platform's all about. It's to give people the voice I didn't have with a disease, a horrific disease. Bring awareness to that. Give others with that disease the voice. But also, we're trying to ensure a better tomorrow. So anyone's story, everyone's voice, and it could be all over the spectrum. Let's unite. Reach out to us. I'm excited to try this new software, this new system, camera even though I didn't do the lighting very good. I should have closed that door behind, so apologize. But dogs are happy. As you've seen them pop in and out a couple times. Just, we got this together, folks. Let's dive into the Jesus is calling, shall we? Let's not let this one go to voicemail. I literally view it that way. And it helps keep me honest and focused on where I'm supposed to be. And it gives peace, clarity, all the things. All of the things. So July 21st, rest in my presence when you need refreshment. Resting is not necessarily idleness, as people often perceive it. When you relax in my company, you are demonstrating trust in me. Trust is a rich word, laden with meaning and direction for your life. I want you to lean on trust and be confident in me. When you lean on me for support, I delight in your trusting confidence. I love it. Trust is so huge. Many people turn away from me when they are exhausted. They associate me with duty and diligence. So they try to hide from my presence when they need a break from work. How this saddens me. As I spoke through my prophet Isaiah, in returning to me and resting in me, you shall be saved. In the quietness and trust shall be your strength. Amen. So true. I can attest to this. It's your choice in this life to keep that door closed to your detriment or just seek understanding for yourself. Open that door. See where it leads. There's two biblical references here. We have Proverbs 3:5 and Isaiah 30:15. I challenge you to pull out the Bible and read those today. Let's do this 1 minute prayer. Provisions. Fruit of a good life. Our people must learn to devote themselves to doing what is good in order that they may provide for daily necessities and not live unproductive lives. Sorry, I'm a slow read and it's very choppy. I apologize. Hopefully with time, I gain it back. It wasn't that long ago I couldn't even read it all and retain. It's crazy. All glory to God once again. The choice to do good is presented in so many subtle ways. Lord, sometimes it is not even a choice, but an impulse, a nudge to follow in your way. During my day, keep my mindful of the opportunities I have to do the right thing. Amen. May my life be an example to other people. May my life be seen as productive in your eyes productive over my eyes, always. I want to be prayerful throughout my day so I can tap into your leading at all times. This guidance is your provision. It directs steps and shepherds me through life. That's good. I needed that. Oh my goodness. Once again, I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful to whatever capacity have a positive impact on doing just that and continually showing up. I thank you all from the depths of my heart. Help us reach more people and bless more lives. Okay, so another call to action. Let's reach out to Patriot Mobile, the only Christian conservative mobile out there. Stop funding our enemies, and we can fund a mobile provider that is on the front lines fighting on behalf of our freedoms, and so much more. By simply clicking the link below, or when you call, mention Unmuzzled Chat, they'll waive fees and take care of you. Now, I want to see the best versions of you. And I know some of my greatest breakthrough is through the bond charge infrared sauna blanket. It's helped magnify the natural ways the body detoxifies these horrific poisons and toxins from our bodies. And as we do so, it does enhance our function, our mood, and our experience in this life. Click the link below. You'll get 15% off all their products. And they got a lot of things that help improve life. If you would like to magnify the detoxifying of all these toxins like metals and forever chemicals, click on the masterpiece link. That tincture helps eradicate all of it. If you're in Gilbert, Arizona, check out Unchained Wellness Clinic. They are doing amazing things. They're offering our listeners a free infrared sauna sesh and cold plunge. Just mention Unmuzzled Chat. Lastly, check out Black Eagle Apparel. Get an Unmuzzled Chat t-shirt and more freedom merch. It's time to lead by example. We got this together. I love you guys. I truly do. And I want to see the best for all of us and a better, brighter future for us as well. We can do this and achieve this together. I know this to be true. God bless you. God bless America. Until next time, take care.